Guess who's back? Back again. Cancel tax. Warn a friend.
Where's your money going? Why should we pay more council tax when they do not know what they're doing with our money?
How is it allowed to issue someone a fine without providing evidence of why you're issuing the fine?
This is what I'm paying, over £150 council tax.
The less you have, the more you pay. That's how council tax is working right now. It's not just unfair, it's making it more expensive to be less well off.
Someone on that office is going on like I am personally owing them a mill. They're acting like I personally owe them a mill.
Email your council tax bill for the year 25 to 26. So I open the email just to look at the bullshit, what they're going to come out with. 5.5%, not 5%, 5.5%. I'm now going to be paying over £2,000 a year for something that I don't even know what I'm paying for.
And this is why it won't get paid, not because people are refusing to pay it. It will be because people just can't afford it. But the government are pretty good. They've come to the rescue of people, haven't they, now? And they've increased council tax just to make it a little bit worse.
The country is literally falling apart. Literally falling apart. What are you paying for? What are you paying for? I'll tell you what you're paying for. These corrupt snakes in the grass, that's what you're paying for.
Welcome back to Broken Britain, where even your wheelie bin comes with a luxury tax. Council tax was meant to fund your local services, schools, roads, libraries, streetlights. But what do you actually get for your £2,000 a year? A fortnightly bin collection, a busted street lamp from 2020, and potholes so deep they've got their own postcode. Meanwhile, councils are claiming they're broke, slashing services, closing youth centres, and blaming inflation. But somehow, there's always money for executive bonuses and council leader pay rises. Oh, and remember when Starmer promised to freeze council tax? That was just for 1 year. And here we are in 2025, with bills still rising and public services in freefall. People are done. And TikTok is the front line of that fury. Working class Brits being rinsed for more cash, while the system gives back less and less. Today on Brit Rants, we're diving headfirst into the madness. If you're sick of being squeezed dry just to watch your town fall apart, hit subscribe and join the outrage. Let's get into it.
Asking for more council tax. What are they doing with the current council tax we pay already? Can you see a return on your council tax? I can tell you what one council's doing. So let's talk about Barnet Council. Recently, Barnet Council issued a section 114, which is similar to bankruptcy, where leaders of the council have to get together quickly within 21 days and find out where all the money is going. Because on this occasion, an overpayment was made, an unlawful overpayment was made of £20 million. And you want us to pay more council tax? Like, where did the 20 million go? Into a pension fund, but it was an accident. 20 million just... Now, I need people to know, and people always ask me, well, why am I going to care about politics? Why am I going to care about things going on in the council? This is why. I need people to know, wherever they live, if they're paying council tax, you need to find out if your council has issued a section 114 notice, because you need to start understanding and questioning where your money is going. Now, this is a list. The most recent ones, okay? Nottingham issued a notice in 2023. Ask them where the money's going. Ask them why they have to file this section 114 notice, which essentially says we can't meet our financial obligations, which will then lead to cuts of services. So where is your money going? Birmingham issued in 2023. Woking issued in 2023. Thurrock issued in 2022. Where's your money going? Why should we pay more council tax when they do not know what they're doing with our money? We need to start having meetings with the local councillors, meetings with the council, meetings with the MP, We need to start questioning. No one in normal life in business would keep on giving money if we are not seeing a return.
Is non-payment of council tax a criminal offence? The answer is no. But then you might ask then, how is it that people are potentially sent to prison for non-payment of council tax? And I'm going to explain how the process works. If you don't pay your council tax, the council can issue proceedings against you in the magistrates' court. Then you're summoned to appear at the magistrates' court, and the court will decide whether you have the means to pay that. Now, if you turn around and say, I can't afford to pay, but I'm willing to pay this amount of money, they will then generally set up a payment plan for you. However, if you just turn around and say, I refuse to pay the council tax, and the court feels that you willfully refused, through the committal process of non-payment of court fines, you could be sent to prison for a period of up to 3 months. So really, it's at the point when the court has asked you to pay, you've refused to pay or haven't agreed with the plan that's put into place, that it can be taken back to court, and in those instances, the court can commit you for sentence, as I said, for up to 3 months. So the actual non-payment of the council tax is not the criminal offence, and the prison sentence comes off the back of the fact that you've not kept up with or maintained or paid the plan that you agreed with the court.
So just a quick one really on council tax. People are saying at the minute they're not paying it, and I think a lot of people are probably going to stop paying it, but there's going to be a lot of people who can't afford to pay it, and this is why it won't get paid. Not because people are refusing to pay it, it will be because people just can't afford it. But the government are pretty good. They've come to the rescue of people, haven't they now, and they've increased council tax just to make it a little bit worse than it already is. Let me know, guys, can you afford to pay your council tax at the minute? And with the price increase, will you be able to afford it then? It's just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Let me know, guys, if you're struggling with your council tax. It'd be interesting because most of the people I know with the price increases coming up next month, it's a nail in the coffin for us, yet another one. Let me know, guys, I love you all. Thanks for watching.
You seen this new shit about the council tax? It's getting worse and worse and worse. So, if you're single, like me, you get a 25% discount off your council tax. And there's lots of different factors for people getting this. It's not just if you're single. They're taking it away. They're taking it away. They want you to pay full tax. For what? The country is literally falling apart. Literally falling apart. What the are you paying for? What are you paying for? I'll tell you what you're paying for. These corrupt snakes in the grass, that's what you're paying for. You see them going on their holidays like 15 times a year, that's what you're paying for. That's what we're all paying for. Stop paying your council tax. If we all come together and do that, there's not a single thing that they can do. Use your heads, people.
Did you know you pay more council tax on a £150,000 home in Hartlepool than you do in an £8 million mansion in Westminster? How does that make sense? The less you have, the more you pay. That's how council tax is working right now. It's not just unfair, it's making it more expensive to be less well off. This tax system is based on house values that haven't been changed since I was in nappies. Feels like we're in spin cycle, same broken tax year after year. Time for a tax that's simple, fair, and based on what your home is actually worth. That's what Fair Share is busy fighting for. Enough's enough. It's time we got this sorted. Head to Fair Share, tell your MP you're in favour of fairness.
It never makes me happy to say that the UK is a dump, but I've seen that the council in Birmingham is no longer collecting the refuse of the residents, and that whole streets are just jam-packed with trash, and there's rats now running around that are the size of dogs. Guys, this is unacceptable. I'm paying less than €200 a year council tax in Spain. They collect our rubbish 5 days a week for less than $200 a year. Make it make sense.
As you all woke up on this brisk Tuesday morning, you'd have all received your council tax bills via post, via email. I'm from Bolton. I just want to talk to you about this. Back in February, Bolton council tax bills in Bolton to rise by 5%. I then got an email your council tax bill for the year 25 to 26. So I open the email just to look at the bullshit, what they're going to come out with. 5.5%, not 5%, 5.5%. I'm now going to be paying over £2,000 a year for something that I don't even know what I'm paying for. And then they tell you where the rises are, where your council tax is going to be going. So within a couple of minutes of reading that bullshit email, I then responded, and I have let Bolton Council know they will not be receiving a penny from me this year in council tax until they can fully explain to me where that £2,000 a year is going, because they've dimmed the street lights, the potholes are an absolute disgrace on the roads, the area has just turned into a shithole, the local town's a shithole, never see a policeman on the street. Where is it going? To be frank, they can sit on that. Has yours gone up? How much has yours gone up?
Guess who's back? Back again. Cancel tax. Warn a friend. So, I used to pay £179. I now have to pay £195. That's gone up by £16 a month. I mean, what the hell? The whole bill is £1,948.11. So paying for Powys County Council and Powys Police. Now, I know things go up all the time, and council tax goes up every year. But what for? What exactly am I paying for? Because I don't really see what I'm paying for. But yeah, £195 a month. Thanks.
Well, here we go again, guys. Council tax bill's just come through, and it's gone up by 30 odd quid a month. So I'm paying 250 something pound a month now. Unbelievable. I mean, it just never ends, does it? I don't even know what to say anymore. When you look at the breakdown as well of the costs, I think it was something like 90 odd quid went to the fire service, then it was the police, and then the council, the local council, take like 1900 quid or something. Our bins get taken every 2 weeks, yeah. Every 2 weeks, not every week. They've implemented a thing now, it started last year, where you have to pay an extra 50-60 quid a year to take your green bin. So forget doing your gardening and then picking it up, you've got to pay extra, so I just never paid it, me. So now you have to put it in bags, take it to tip, and then dispose of it there. The other issue is the amount of potholes are out of control. I remember a couple of years ago I went over a pothole, the bang, it sounded like a shot going off in my car. Warning lights came up about 5 minutes after on the car, and about a couple of weeks later I was doing 60 mile an hour down the road, lost control of the car, all the ABS went, all of these lights come on the car, steering wheel malfunctions and all the rest of it. I nearly lost my life that day. I could have quite easily lost my life. If I send an invoice to council saying my car's, I now don't have a vehicle, can you replace the vehicle costs? They aren't going to do that, they're going to laugh at you. But if I don't pay my council tax, they come down on you like a ton of bricks. It's out of control, guys.
Council tax increase. So I don't know if anyone has looked recently, but a lot of councils, including mine, around the country have had their budget meetings. And in those budget meetings, the majority are increasing council tax. In my area, they are increasing it by 4.99%. And in areas like Bradford, I don't know if you saw the full council meeting that took place in Bradford, they are receiving a 10% increase in council tax. So there is a massive council tax hike across the country. And of course, there's uproar. Not just uproar because we are in the middle of a cost of living crisis and an energy crisis, and food poverty is at its all-time highest in recent years, and child poverty is too, especially in those communities that are high in deprivation. Push all that to the side. But on top of paying higher in council tax, a lot of us are losing essential services. We are having massive cuts to service. In my hometown, we don't even have a leisure centre anymore. They've taken that from us. We have nothing left. They're selling off dementia care homes to private investors. This is under a party that was founded on the back of trade unions. So what can you do? this is what you can do. You can mobilise yourselves. You can get in touch with your neighbours and your residents. You can contact trade unions. You can get involved in any way you can.
Ring, ring. Hello, Tom speaking. Hi there, is that Tom? Speaking, that's why I said it's Thomas. Oh yeah, just making sure you got your letter. Who's this? This is your local council. Oh yeah, I got the letter he sent 5 times. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Okay, so you know the council tax is going up by 5%. Yeah, great. Yeah, okay. Well, if it's going up, so it doesn't surprise me. But as long as bins are being collected. Yeah, your bins will be collected just once a year now. Once a year. Well, at least the community centres that I use regularly for socialising still there. So yeah. Well, actually, that's going to be closed next month as well, and the sports centre and all local facilities paid for won't be used. So wait a minute, I'm going to pay more for less. I guess when you put it like that, yeah. In what world does somebody pay more for less? Do not take that language with me. I didn't use any language. I see it as threatening. I'm going to report you as a hate crime. No, I didn't mean that in ding dong.
Why is your council tax around £2,000 a year for your little 2-bed house? Yet there are people living in mansions and even palaces with gold taps paying just over £1,000 a year. How does that make sense? Well, here's how the con works. Council tax bands are based on what your house was worth back in 1991. I'm not kidding. The year Nirvana was topping the charts and John Major was Prime Minister. They've never updated them. And why, you ask? Because the rich would have to pay more. And we can't have politicians upsetting their donors, can we? So, while your modest home crept up into a Band D, Lord Toffington's 10-bedroom estate is still a Band H, even though it's worth 5 million now. And guess what? Band H is the top band, even if your house is basically Downton Abbey. It's not just unfair, it's a scam. It's time to unfreeze these bans. It's time for the rich to pay their bloody fair share.
So we just got a council tax bill, and I've got to say, it just doesn't make any sense. We live in West Yorkshire, and we live in quite a nice area, and it's gone up to £275 a month, okay? From £250 a month, which was ridiculous anyway, because the bin collections are fortnightly. Do you remember a few years ago when it used to be every week, and then they changed it to fortnightly, and now we're the time with the idea of changing it to monthly? What the are we paying for? Bottom of our road, we've got potholes that have been there for nearly 3 years, that are dangerous for cyclists, motorbikes and cars. And what they're doing about it? The police are pulling people over on the bottom road to make sure the cars are safe for the roads, and there's big holes in roads. I tell you what, I'm dodging potholes. I'm surprised I haven't been pulled over by police to say, oh, we pulled you over, your driving's a bit off, sir. Have you had a drink this afternoon? No, I'm dodging potholes. The drains are a mess. They don't clean them out anymore, so every time it rains we end up having a flood on the street. Everything's overgrown with weeds and that. It's like that film I Am Legend with Will Smith in. It's like an apocalypse has happened on some streets with all overgrown shit. What they're spending money on? Oh, a monument to show our solidarity for our community. How much was that? 35 million for a rock. Set of d***heads, really are. And what's the local MP doing about it? She's doing oh no, tell her like, she's actually having a photo shoot outside a flower shop with flowers she hasn't even bought. Look at me, I care about small businesses and the community and people's employment. Then she gives the flowers back, off to the sandwich shop and repeats the same fucking shit and does it all through the community, and then locals are like, oh, she's doing a very good job, isn't she? No, the fake photo shoots. People, wake up, sakes. They had a refurb in their offices, right? New computers, new furniture, redecorated at the council office. It was done 2 years previous. Did they really need to spend that money on that? Unbelievable.
Talking about councils wasting money just when I thought I'd seen it all. So the York and Yorkshire Combined Authority have got a new logo, and their logo was changed from this, which is a nice logo, to a new one. which I thought might have contained the white rose, seeing as that's the logo of Yorkshire, but no, it's changed to this. And do you know how much that cost? Nearly £32,000 to create that. 32 grand. So our council tax is going up, and this is the type of shit that it's funding. £32,000 for a think tank to come up with a logo like that. Words really do escape me at this point. I'm having to sift through my brain to grab words to try and make this shit make sense. First off, what was wrong with the old one? Secondly, how did that cost 32 grand? I just don't see how they can defend it. And seeing as though I'm up here in North Yorkshire and I don't know what's going on in the rest of the UK regarding logos of certain things, where you are, has your logo changed? Is there anything that's been spent ridiculous fucking money on airbrain schemes like this? It's irresponsible and abhorrent. There are so many people all over this app that are saying, I aren't paying council tax anymore. And when you see shit like that, you don't even have to explain why. 32 grand. I'm just lost for words.
Just finished raking the front garden, guys, for the second time, because this is what I'm paying, over £150 council tax. Yeah, look at the pavement. Yeah, they came, they done half the road, said they run out of bags, and then they left it. Yeah, 150 odd pounds every month, council tax, and this is how the council have the road. Yep. So that's the second time I had to rake the garden. Give me back my money. What are you doing with it? Terrible, man.
How much my council tax is? It's like this many. That's a lot, isn't it? You pay it monthly. It's 109 monthly, but that's a lot, man. I get a discount because I'm a loser single person, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of money. What are the charges for? They want the city council. They want the majority of it. Fair enough. The police never do nothing for me. They used to harass me when I was younger, mean police. They want 200 quid. And then the fire people, you know what? The fire people, they can have their money. I like the fire people because if my house was on fire, they're going to save me. The CPCA mayoral precept. I can't read today. I don't know what that is. I don't want to pay that one. Can I have my £24 back, please?
I exposed some of my expenses for July, and I think that most people were surprised about was the price of my council tax. Girl, me too. Let me tell you why. So when I bought the house, I considered the council tax band, because that's what it tells you to do, right? Wrong. There's no point. Basically, before purchasing the house, I was in the council tax band B. When I started paying council tax, I was in council tax band B, which I was fine with, okay? I was very happy with that. What happened was, a few months after moving into the house, I received a letter from the valuations office telling me that my council tax band was going to be reconsidered because they don't believe it to be accurate. And I was a bit like, what? Is this even a legit letter? It was addressed to me, but I didn't feel like it was for me. So I ignored it. A couple of weeks later, I received another letter basically saying, yep, we've reevaluated and your council tax band will be changing from B to C. That comes with a price change. Yeah, I don't know how you just whacking price changes on people, but okay. So it did change. So the next time I was reevaluated, the new year, I think it's a new tax year where the council tax band does its thing, it was very much giving council tax band C prices, and I had no choice but to pay it. So I do get a single person discount. So another question that was commonly asked was, is this with the single person discount, 25%? Yes, it is, but it's still that price. However, if it makes you feel better, because it kind of makes me feel better, my payments are spread over 10 months as opposed to 12. So that's probably why they seem slightly higher per month, maybe, I don't know. But that is basically what happens. So just so you know, your council tax band can change. So if you're buying a house, just take that into consideration. I also appealed, by the way, declined, and it's basically told me that it doesn't matter, that pretty much everyone on the road is still council tax band B, because theirs will change once a house is like transferred ownership, but they can't do it without that. So yeah, just know your council tax band can change.
How is it allowed to issue someone a fine without providing evidence of why you're issuing the fine? How is that allowed? How is it allowed? So I got a parking ticket in March, residents only parking. However, there was no road markings to suggest that, and no sign. So imagine this, my friends parked on this road, there was a sign saying residents only parking, and there was parking markings on the road there. This is one space, that's another space, that's another space. She parked there. We all knew that she was about to get a ticket. Me, however, me and our other friend, I drove around the area to try find somewhere that I'm allowed to park, right? I was being sensible, with, you know, spend money like you don't like money. I'm not giving my money to you for no reason. So this street, absolutely fine. No sign, nothing. I parked there, still got a ticket. I've appealed the ticket. I said, I think this is incorrect. I think this is a mistake. I wasn't parked on a residence permit. Like, why have I got this ticket? Hi, Amelia, you were blah, 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 whatever. I said, okay. The photos, the evidence photos are just pictures of my car. There's no sign there. There's no road markings. You can see that. So like, I'll happily pay the ticket if you just show me where the sign is. Prove in the evidence photos, as you're supposed to, that I'm in a residence parking. They can't do it. I mean, they are refusing. We've gone back and forth with each other a lot now, right? Because you know what it is? It's principle. It's actually principle. I said, like, they're saying, I don't know what to say, Amelia, you must have driven past the sign. Show me the sign then, and I'll pay it. Because right now, your evidence, you've not got evidence, you've just taken pictures of my car. And you can see that there's no markings to even suggest it's a parking space. It's just a road. Like, I've just parked on a road. There's no double yellow lines, nothing. They are point blank refusing. Then one of my appeals, it was on PCN on hold. They took it off hold without telling me, and then sent me a letter and doubled the fine, more than doubled. Excuse me. I contacted them again and said, how can I take this further? You've been issued with a notice of rejection. You have to pay, otherwise it'll go up another 50%. From 75, they want to then charge me £140, £150 for parking parking on a road. Let's be serious. How are they actually allowed to do this? No one, like, I'm not even a stubborn person, but principle matters. Do you get what I mean? No one in that office who's dealing with this case has looked at that and been like, she's got a very valid point. That road's got road markings and a sign. Where she parked, there's no parking markings on the ground. There's no sign. So how's she supposed to know if this is a whole residents only space? There's a distinctive difference from where I parked and where it says this is residents parking only. Distinctive difference. So maybe that's an issue that we need to sort out. If this is also residents only road, we should make that clear, because otherwise we're tricking people. Do you know what I mean? So we should cancel that PCN. No, someone on that office is going on like I am personally owing them a mil. They're acting like I personally owe them a mil. I will go to court. Genuinely, I can actually see myself in court, like, fighting my corner here, because I think this is outrageous. I said so many times I'll happily pay it if you just prove to me where the sign is. Prove to me that I was in the wrong, I was in residents only parking. Just show me. Why is that so hard? No, why is that so hard? You provide evidence photos, so provide me with the evidence. Because all this guy's done is taken pictures of my car. There's nothing on those photos to suggest I'm in a residence parking only. Can you see how outrageous this is? It's really It's really annoyed me, actually. I just think it's outrageous. 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 I think it's disgusting, to be honest, I really do.
And that's the state of council tax in Britain. Sky-high bills for disappearing services. You're paying thousands a year so your bins can be missed, your roads can crumble, and your streetlights can stay broken. Meanwhile, the very councils crying poor are handing themselves raises, building shiny new offices, and wasting money like it grows on taxpayer trees. It's no wonder people are fuming. Because let's be honest, it's not about helping the community anymore, is it? It's about bleeding the working class dry while giving us nothing but excuses in return. If you're tired of being mugged by your own postcode, you're not alone. The rage is building. And it's not just online, it's everywhere. So don't stay silent. Hit that like, share the rant, and subscribe if you're done funding failure. This is Brit Rants, where the truth doesn't come with a filter, and we won't stop shouting until something changes.